afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Mythgard in Middle-earth. My name is Corey Olsen, the Tolkien Professor, joined as always by my friend Gryfflet, who has been patiently waiting to explore this brand new mead-hall. Well, brand new to him, but really quite nice-looking mead-hall. Up and at him, Gryfflet. Let's see what we got here. I like the stonework, right? It's very nice, and those kind of like windows, which are interesting, right? I mean, so those look like windows, right? And I gotta tell you, windows on the ground floor of the building, which is probably to be used as the last line of defense in case the town were ever to be invaded, is probably not the best of ideas. But it's okay. That's all right. They're bold here in Snowborn, clearly. And also fairly secure in themselves. And they have a nice wall. Mostly a nice wall. With a couple gaps in it, as we saw before. But that's fine. Anyway, how's everybody today? Gryfflet is excited about beginning his Snowburn adventures in earnest today. Of course, after having done the preliminary inspection of the architecture and drawn some conclusions, possibly, unwarranted, about the history of Snowborn. But I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I think it was good. But anyway, let us head in here as we get into the heart of the Sutcrofts. First, of course, I've left poor Éomer hanging. Here he is. Still rocking the braids, still loving it, Éomer.
A brisk ride. Now, to the business at hand.
Well, you had a brisk ride. I had a slow walk with a whole bunch of refugees, but that's okay.
I want to know what is really going on in Snowborn.
Okay. Me too. I look around and I do not see the preparations for which I asked. I will speak with Reeve Astrid to learn why he delays, but let us try something else first. It is said you can catch more horseflies with honey cakes than you do with lamp tallow. I say that all the time. Scarcely does a day go by when I don't say exactly that same thing. Okay. It is, right. Introduce yourself to Grimston, one of Astrid's personal guards, and ask him why the people have not begun to move where it is safe. Grimston knows me, and the answer he would give to me might be different than the one he gives to you. I want to know what is really going on in Snowburn, and you are a more sure path to that answer. All right. They're unlikely to, hide things from me, like, because they think I'm a security risk. All right. There's Baldnoth over there. Oh, right, about the refugees. Let me ask him about the refugees here. Hey there, Bald. And the answer is no. You are not bald enough.
Will you aid the horse lords?
My actions were bold. Gisel will hear much for such a blatant disregard of Astrid's rule. Nevertheless, we cannot keep them in the streets. I will have my men clear room in some of the nearby homes. Wait, how was Gisel blatantly disregarded? Sorry, I'm losing track of who's telling whom to do what. Is the problem, as I think, that Astrid and Éomer are kind of at cross purposes here, right? Namely that Astrid is wanting to go out and fight all the orcs and he's disregarding them, whereas Gisel, of course, was finally taking them seriously. Anyway, okay. Most of the homes near our tradesfolk are not filled, so you will likely find room there. Well, I gotta search for homes all over the place. Wow, okay. I will search for homes. Quite thoroughly, apparently. All right. Leave no quarter of the city unsearched for homes that might be used for the refugees. Whoa, Burnoth. You look like 10 miles of bad road. I don't remember ever seeing somebody's face with that many scars. I mean, in game.
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
All right. I am pleased to see you, though I will not say that I am surprised. Our paths seem destined to cross at the most opportune times. We have only just arrived ourselves. All right. Hey, Burnoth. Did I never notice your Scars on your face? Huh. Alright. We get... Oh, hey, Kunalak.
What brings you to these lands?
Reeve Fostred is abroad, hunting orcs. If you wish to speak with him, I can show on your map where his camp lies. Here, though I doubt you will find a warm welcome. His mood has been harsh of late, and a thirst for blood has been upon him. Really? Alright, there's Edgar. Alright, Burnoth.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
Well, we have come a long way only to find the master of the house absent.
Will you aid the Rohirrim?
There's nothing for it, I suppose. We will have to ride out and meet Fostred. Go to the stables and inform the others. I will meet you at Fostred's camp. Alright. The Riders 4. Convene again. These guys are a hoot. I love the Riders 4. What's not to love about the Riders 4? Alright. Right, well, so... yeah, JJ, exactly. Amir's argument is to say, I don't want to tell the truth to my lord, but I will totally tell the truth to the stranger who came into town at the same time as my lord. Well, you know, though they can be forgiven for not associating the random funny little halfling person for, you know, with Amir. Hey, everybody. Let's see. Well, we've got hearths in the middle again. That's nice, right? Returning to a more traditional outlook that's harder to get to the front. I like the beams in here. The red trim and the intricate carving, really nice. And the red banners of the Sootcrofts really just looking sharp. Looking sharp. Some nice antler chandeliers. Huge window that the entire invading army could come through, but I get it. I get it. You want some decent lighting. Hey, don't throw those coals around. What are you even doing with that shovel? Are you dancing? This guy is... He looks like he's performing some kind of ritual. You do you, man. You do you. All right, Vlafhelm.
To these lands.
Sorry, I'm just entranced by the rather peculiar gestures that guy is making. What business have you with the Reeve? Very well, you may speak with him, but you will have to wait. He is on one of his daily orc hunts in the fields. He does not like to be interrupted, so in the meantime, you may aid us here should you wish to wait. Well, I'm happy to aid you.
The Rohirrim will need your aid.
Okay. You have a task. Great. The riders have been facing more opposition in the fields of late, and we constantly need more materials for repairs to the farmsteads, as well as new arms and armor for the riders themselves. If you would gather wood, spears, and leather scraps for me, I will send them along to the appropriate craftsfolk. Okay. Collect stuff. Vaguely useful in battle. Hey, it's a shield-maiden. Hey there, shield-maiden. What's up? That helm looks a little big on you, but I think it's just the fashion. Why is she standing there like in the I Dream of Genie pose? It's alright. I don't remember seeing any shield-maidens. You remember seeing any shield-maidens? I'm just trying to think of any precedents for this. I mean, obviously, there's gonna be one, right? But I mean, in other settlements that we've seen. It's an interesting... Yeah, there was the... Right, yeah, the girl who should be Reeve of the Norcrofts. And once my coup comes to fruition, will be, right? Yeah, but she was like, but there was resistance there. And she was talking like it wasn't really an established thing, and no one was taking her desire to be a shield maiden seriously. And here she's got a Sutcroft's role model just chilling. Right? She's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna stand around, you know, in the mead-hall like it ain't no thing, right? In my armor, being a shield maiden. Right? Yeah, Edez. That's exactly it. Yeah. Okay. I'm just saying, this is an interesting cultural moment here, right? Really underemphasized, right? I mean, there's nothing to flag this, and I don't remember, I don't remember any precedent so far. It's just interesting. It's just an interesting direction for them to take it, and I wonder, maybe I'll get a quest to you. No, you're not named. You're not even named. You're not even clickable. No offense. I mean, like, I don't intend any insult by that. They're just standing there with their feet wide apart, ready for action. Self-satisfied little smile on her face, like, you know, pleased at the idea of kicking your butt if you approach her. No, it's very interesting. I'm going to be keeping my eye out for this trend, right? Is this, Anyway, yeah, so there is, you know, so you may ask yourself, is there any textual basis for that kind of thing, right? For there to be other shield maidens, or is Éowyn supposed to be like really breaking the mold, right? And doing that, does it kind of spoil Éowyn, right? If we have like shield maidens all over the place, right? And well, it's an interesting question, right? It does not appear, based on the published text, it does not appear that it's a clearly established thing. Éowyn seems to know that she is deviating from the norms of her society when she's doing this, right? Prince Imrahil's words on the battlefield, right, when he sees Éowyn's apparently dead body there, his reaction, right? Have even the women of the Rohirrim come to help us in our need? Makes it sound like he finds the idea shocking and quite surprising, right? In the original, you're right, Phil, that from Éowyn's words, it doesn't sound like she invented the idea, right? But it also does not sound like it's a normal thing. Like no one says like, Éowyn, like, why are you not riding with the shield maidens or something like that? You know what I mean? Like there's no indication that there's any others in the army, right? Or that it would be a normal thing, right? People aren't like, what? One of the shield maidens is Éowyn, right? No, and indeed, like, why would she even disguise herself as a man instead of disguising herself as, like, you know, one of the rank and file shield maidens, right? So it seems that there aren't any others, right? Gondor was certainly not expecting any others. However, that said, in the first draft of the chapter, you know, in the Dunharrow material, Tolkien's first concept was having Éowyn like leading a troop of shield maidens. Like it was definitely going to be a thing, not just an existing cultural concept, but to be a standard sort of auxiliary, not even auxiliary, but sort of a standard unit in the Rohirrim army. Anyway, so Tolkien's trend about this was to downplay it elsewhere, right? Not to make Éowyn merely the leader of the shield maiden unit, but apparently unique, again, at least in that army, unique as a shield maiden. I'm not saying necessarily historically unique, but unique in that army. So at the very least, it may be an established concept, but at the very least, in the published text, we are led to understand that Éowyn is a little bit out there, right? That it's a relatively shocking thing, right? So, this choice, though not totally unwarranted in Tolkien's thought, right? It's not inconsistent with Tolkien's entire thought. It goes against the direction in which his final thoughts were taking, his published thoughts were taking, right? But it's not against Tolkien's entire thought. But it'll be interesting to see how it's handled, or if it's handled. Again, the fact that this first shield maiden that I've noticed anyway, this first armed and armored shield maiden standing here in the mead-hall, as if she's just one of Fastred's primary warriors and retainers, or maybe secondary because she's not out in the field with Fastred right now. But anyway, it makes her very interesting, and especially since she is so little attention is being drawn to her, right? So definitely going to be keeping an eye on that. All right, Edgar.
Rohirrim will need your aid.
This guy, so by the way, this guy's named Edgar because the CG consonantal combination in Anglo-Saxon is the thing pronounced J, like the modern DG in English, in modern English. It's pretty much the same. So like the word ECG is pronounced edge, and it is essentially the same word as EDGE in modern English. Well, same word, more limited connotations. It's a synonym for sword, essentially. Anyway, yeah. So his name would be Edgar, which is cool. So it's like Edgar, except cooler and a little more militant. My men in the field have reported that orcs have taken to assaulting the grain silos around Snowborn. I like that phrasing. Have taken to, right? You know, it's this habit they've developed, right? The orcs in the fields these days have just they do the darndest things, you know? And lately, here's what all these orc teenagers have all taken, one orc started doing it, and now they're all doing it, right? Assaulting the grain silos around Snowborn. What's next, right? They cannot be allowed to succeed. Our people struggle enough. To lose our stores would push us beyond breaking. Find my 3 men in the field and aid them at the silos. They can hold them for now, but I know not how long they can hold against these new invaders. Alright, we'll protect the silos. Alright. Okay. Alright, there's another guy down here. Alright, so I got a bunch of things to do. Ah, there's Grimstan. And Fromferth. Whoa, that's Fastred's horse? Hey, shouldn't you be with Fastred? I mean, I'm just saying. Mear, of course, being the Anglo-Saxon word for horse. Mearis, therefore, the word for the special breed of horses of which Shadowfax is chief, in Anglo-Saxon literally means horses.
Who are you? What are you doing in Snowbourn?
Hi. Well, that's actually kind of the reception I would have rather more expected to receive. You ask him why Fastred has not moved his people across the Antwash where they can be better protected. Yeah, because that's the good way to answer somebody's question, who are you and what are you doing here, is, can you please reveal to me the cause behind your master's policies and explain to me why he is not abiding by the orders he's been given? Like that's, I'm sure he's going to go straight to answering that question. The Reeve has his own opinion on this, whatever the Third Marshal thinks. Éomer is a long way from here. He's feet away. He does not know what is really going on in the Sootcrofts. The women and the children could be moved, certainly, but Éomer wanted everyone to depart, even the warriors. These are their lands. Better to stay and die on your own land than to live at the say-so of another man's plot. Snowborn will not retreat, though it be burned to the ground. Its people will defend it to the last. Can't say I can really absolutely critique you for that, man. I get it. Okay. Let's see. Okay, hang on. So there's indeed some leather here, right? There's leather. So I'm supposed to collect stuff, supplies for the mead-hall. And he asked me to collect leather scraps. And now here next to this dude's wood pile, and the dude being right there with a huge axe in his hand, though terrible aim, but that's perhaps not his fault. Anyway, is standing right there. This is not a scrap of leather. This is an entire skin that has been stretched out to cure in its frame still, in its curing frame still. And I'm supposed to be what? Like, well, obviously this is unneeded and unattended. It is at least unattended. It's not even unattended. The dude is right there, right? And so I'm just supposed to take this, like, obviously you don't want this. So I'm just gonna collect it. There you go. You obviously had no use for this and no use for this one either. So I'm just commandeering your okay. All right. Times are tough. That's what we're doing. Yeah, I thought exactly and take the frame as well, just for good measure. Hey, elf sweet, huh? Look, more unattended leather tanning frames. Okay. I'm gonna be popular here. Let's hope that guy, that random dude that I talked to in the mead hall isn't setting me up. Right? You know, maybe he's just fencing this stuff. And he's Tom Sawyering me into, committing larceny on his behalf. Hey, there's an emptied home. Oh. No, he won't let me take it after all. Okay, right. He just claimed this thing. Fine. Let's see. What do we... Oh, look! Some spears nobody's using. The moral of the story is, don't leave any of your gear unattended in Snowburn, or else some helpful person might steal it at the behest of the... the guy. I can't click on the spear without clicking on the thing behind it there. Okay, there we go. Alright. Oh, man. Oh, look, they've locked down the rest of the rest of the weather. Like, lock up your leather scraps, everybody. Here we go. Oh, look, there's one negligent person who's not put them away yet. Okay. Oh, here, this one's right behind the stove. No one will notice this. Okay. Very good. Piles of logs. Okay. Any firewood anyone isn't currently using and not watching to very carefully? I love these quests. This is fun. Okay. But I'm also looking for houses all over the place. I found one by accident. So I think I'll keep wandering about and see what else I can notice. Vis-a-vis housing. Okay. Alright, let's see. Hang on, let's see. Let me do a lore question while I'm wandering around town if I can. I'm not sure I can, but I'll see what I can do. JJ, you had asked before, did Tolkien ever address or do anything with Lewis's mention of Numenor and that hideous strength? Apart from rolling his eyes, I suspect. Not sure if rolling his eyes is something Tolkien would actually have done. But if he were into eye rolling, I think he would have done. I mean, I can promise he got annoyed, right? Because... Oh, emptied home near the barracks. Great, great. I can promise he got annoyed in here. So let me first just explain, make sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. In the third volume of C.S. Lewis's Space Trilogy, the volume called That Hideous Strength, C.S. Lewis made some connections explicitly to Tolkien's world. He talked about he specifically talked about Numenor. And he talked about Numenor in the context of old Atlantean magic, like the survival in our world of old magic and old techniques. Associated with Merlin, specifically, that Merlin, some of the power of Merlin was power that was brought to Middle-earth from Numenor by the Numenorians. And in this, Lewis, was clearly working from some of the basic ideas that Tolkien had been developing and talking with the Inklings about. See if there's anything in here. Oh. There's the Forge Master. Okay. Anyway, it's not actually anything like the Akalabath that Lewis is referring to. What he's primarily referring to are the Notion Club papers, I believe. And the concept that Tolkien had been developing through the Notion Club papers of the concept of Numenor. So like the basic idea was that there were a lot of memories, a lot of echoes of Numenor, right, throughout the Middle Ages. That there was, that there were, these survivors of Numenor. I think I searched all the places. Yeah, I did. Okay. Great. All right. So that there, so when Numenor fell, the survivors came to Middle-earth, and that there was all this evidence in Anglo-Saxon and Gothic traditions, sort of memories of, Akalabath, the Downfallen, and that a lot of medieval cultures were influenced by these sort of Numenorian survivors that went among them and everything. That was the kind of core concept, the core sort of mythic concept that Tolkien was working with. And it was a really, really interesting blend of sort of Tolkien's medieval scholarship and Tolkien's creative concept of Numenor, his version of the Atlantis story. And Lewis clearly liked it and incorporated it into that hideous strength. The idea is that basically Merlin was that, like the druidic magic tradition of Merlin was designed to be like another one of those things that was inherited from all right, guys, up and at 'em, go find your houses. Was another one of those things that was inherited from Numenor. Now, I'm not saying that I think that Tolkien would have been enthusiastic necessarily about the particular concept of druidic magic that Lewis was talking about being associated with Numenor. There are a bunch of things that he associated Numenor with, and it wasn't that, generally, right? So, not sure he'd have been excited about that. But, at the same time, Lewis calls out Tolkien by name, right? And basically prompts him in print to publish, right? As he's, and he's, well, it's not like Tolkien wasn't trying. But he gives like a promo, essentially, for Tolkien in the preamble, where he's like, those who would like to know more about Numenor, should stay on the lookout for forthcoming works from Professor Tolkien. Was really, really interesting. So, anyway, what do I think Tolkien's reaction would have been? As I said, annoyance, primarily. And I think that, and I don't mean annoyance at Lewis taking the whole Notion Club Papers concept of the Númenórean legacy in medieval England and turning it into druidic magic. Maybe he would have been annoyed by that, but no, I think what he primarily would have been annoyed by is the fact that he spelled Numenor wrong. He spelled it with an I, Numinor. I don't think, Tolkien's own spelling was shifting around as some concepts in his languages were changing, but I don't recall him using that spelling. I think that's very likely to be an error on Lewis's part, and that kind of error would really annoy Tolkien, especially it happening in print. I might be wrong about that, but I don't remember the I, because I was looking for that, as I recall. But anyway, yeah. So, but, last note, if Tolkien were annoyed, well, he went after Lewis pretty hard, good-humoredly, right, in the Notion Club Papers. Lewis was kind of the butt of a whole bunch of jokes in the Notion Club Papers, so maybe Tolkien had a little annoyance coming to him. The only difference is that Lewis's got into print, right, and Tolkien's was unfinished and never did get into print.
That's
anyway,
just what
Amir,
I
what do you
suspected.
think? Okay. I will go speak with Reeve Astrid, but he may need more evidence to be convinced of the danger his people face. Ride onto the plains of the Sutcrofts and defeat Mordor corruptors and warg riders, seizing their implements of destruction, spears and fire pots. Bring them back to me, and I will show this evidence to the Reeve. If that does not change his mind, we may need to try something else. Okay, Amir, I'm not going to advise you because you're the man, and we all know this, but I think Astrid already knows that the orcs have spears. I doubt that's going to be surprising. And absolutely, Phil, you are completely correct that he poked fun at himself very richly in the Notion Club Papers as well. Nothing in that was mean-spirited, of course, the butt of the jokes that he made C.S. Lewis into, right? It was all clearly in good fun, and as you say, he did make fun of himself as well. But again, I think it's sort of enough to make me think that C.S. Lewis might not have cried bitter tears about Tolkien being a little annoyed with him.
What brings you to these lands?
All right, my father knew what he was bringing upon himself by doing this, and I am certain he does not fear any reprisal from Astrid. Yeah, I'm pretty sure too. You have done well, and I would wager that the crofters of Garsfeld will not forget you for all that you have done for them. Oh, there's more business. What more?
Our success
While you were
depends
dealing with the
upon our
guards,
strength.
I learned from the townsfolk
Will you
where
aid us?
Astrid often travels to hunt the orcs of the Sutcrofts. He is usually near his father's grave, just past the river to the east. If you can find him, convince him to return to Snowborn. There are surely more pressing matters for his people than the deaths of a few more orcs. What, like the deaths of many more orcs? The Butcher of Snowborn. I have to admit, like, there are worse crimes I can think of than a Reeve who is, like, eager to ride out against the invaders of his lands. Right? I mean, doesn't seem like the most wanton act of neglect I've ever heard. All right, Riders 4. What do you think? Do I get to... Do we get to instance? Hey there, Ulf. Leoftag. Hutha. Good to see you guys. Yeah, you all have these scarred faces. They look like, collectively, they look like 40 miles of bad road. If Astrid craves the blood of orcs, then I say we help him get it. See, that's more the kind of spirit that I expected out of folks, to be totally honest with you. Ooh, do we get to We do. Let us ride indeed.
I, of all my companions, understand the thirst for blood. It burns in those who have seen tragedy.
Yeah.
But Reeve Astrid must put aside his thirst. For a horde comes that knows no mercy, and only the blood of the men of the Sutcrofts will be forfeit.
Whoa. Did it just get really dark? That was really sudden. Oh my goodness, and the river has turned to blood. What are we in, though? Like the plagues of Egypt here? Is there a murrain on the cattle as well? This is alarming. Wow, but it's really kind of beautiful. In ways that I presume turning the Nile to blood wasn't. Anyway. Alright, guys. It's pretty dark, but we can do this. Alright, burn off.
You aid the horse lords.
Alright, you have arrived. I have told Reeve Astrid of the Easterlings coming from the north, but he will not relent. My folk are not cowards to run in the face of danger. Long have we lived beneath the shadow of orc raids. Oh dear, okay, I'm not even reading your text anymore. And always we have fought them off. If these Condolar wish to spill their blood upon our spears, then I say let them. The Sootcroft shall not fall to orc or Easterling. What is that? Something approaches. Oh, it's orcs. Okay, we're on foot. Yes, we are. Oh, hey, Defiler. Wow, this is, we're all just fighting in the dark here. Can't see anything. Nope, know what's happening. Okay. Let's just hope everyone is more or less surviving. Hey there, Defiler. Are you throwing at me? Oh, yeah, you kind of are, aren't you? I'm not sure I can agree with that statement.
Machada!
Is that another one over there? This is the most widely dispersed orc band I've been attacked by in some time. Alright. Let me see. Oh, hang on. We're back. You just keep coming in one by one in random places. I keep expecting, like, discrete waves, you know? The ground is black with their blood. Uh-oh, something else is approaching. Whoa. Okay. How about I not tank this guy? Zakriff. Whoa. You have a fair, substantial number of morale points there, my large friend. Oh, now you're beating on me? Doesn't that make you feel a little bad about yourself, Mr. Troll? Okay. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, all right. Okay, Foster. Hey, I didn't even notice you were there, and now you're standing in the fire. But you're just that kind of guy. This is a metaphor. Foster standing in the midst of the flames. It's like a mini pyre. Hey, it's good to meet you, Foster. You're famous. Don't ask me why.
Our mission is dire.
That was a slightly dire fight. It was on the dire side. I do not doubt the accuracy of Burnoth's report, but this battle only proves my will. The people of the Sootcroft shall stand and defend their lands. Don't know what Burnoth expected. I mean, it's good to be warned about the Kundalar and stuff, but did you expect him, to march north? Well, again, see, you say you failed, Burnoth, but again, what's your objective? I understand that you want help against the Easterlings. Makes perfect sense, but we're pretty far from there right now. Right now, there are two things on the table already for Astrid, right? One, to stay and fight orcs here in his own lands, right? The other is to take his people and withdraw them, to Edoras. And you want him to instead march north into a different battlefield with the orcs still around and behind him? I just am not sure here.
Will you aid the horse lords?
It was a battle well fought, but I am distressed that Astrid refuses still to evacuate the women and children. Right, I see. It's the evacuation that you want. If the invasion reaches the Sutcrofts, there will be a great slaughter. But there already is an invasion that has reached the Sutcrofts, right? That's the thing that I think we're overlooking. Well, there is not more we can do. We must ride to Edoras and hope that Theoden King will hear a voice other than that of Wormtongue. Fare thee well, friend. May your travels bear you hence, so that we may meet again. Okay, all right, let's see. Ooh, there's a silken mantle, really? Not a big fan. Let's see, Shield of the Trollbreaker. That's a fun name. I'm gonna call it that. I'm gonna get that. Because it's called that, is what I mean to say. Alright. So let's see. Oh, what did I... Hey! Friend to the Sutcrofts! Excellent. Am I still boosted? Yes, I am. Excellent. Still have 27,000 bonus remaining. Fantastic. And so let's see, where are we on these things? Endwatch Vale, Kindred, Sutcrofts getting there, and then I've got the Norcrofts in the Wold before I boosted. Yeah, friend already. I'm going to go back and do some rep quests there. Okay. Let's see. Where am I going next? I've still got logs. I've got I think everything's outside the walls now. Yeah, I think everything's outside the walls now. All right. Oh, right, that's for my new friendship level. All right, let's head outside the walls. Okay. Great question. Let's see. That's another JJ question. Well, JJ, at the risk of answering, well, not the risk, with the certainty of addressing two of your questions in a row, nevertheless, I always like to try, if I can, to address the questions on the day they come in. So, JJ, you were asking let me read it before I start galloping randomly. In the Ents roll call of living creatures, why is man associated primarily with Master of Horses? Man the Mortal, Master of Horses, is what Treebeard calls men in his list, right, when he's learned now the lore of living creatures. Was the poem written after Rohan was established, with the Rohirrim in mind? Or is there an older association of horses to men in particular? Yeah, it can't possibly have been written afterwards. Treebeard... Woohoo! I think I'm fully traded on the blue line there. Hooray! Treebeard explicitly says that these are the lists that he learned when he was in Enting, right? These are the old lists, and he wonders if maybe there have been some new lists, which is clearly, he's thinking of within the last, I don't know what, 50,000 years or something. So those are definitely old lists that he is working off of there. All right, what am I looking for? The Croftguard captain, and we're like completely surrounded by orcs. Hey there, dude. Any issues here? Is there anything that I can do to help, maybe? Okay. Defend the silo. Oh, right. This is the silo guy. All right, hang on. I'll head over. Okay, so you guys don't even need any help. Strong work. Yeah, good job, guys. I contributed. That's it. This is the northern silo. Oh, here we go. There's some more. I meant to like be slaying orcs. Okay, so yes, men are clearly. It's not explicitly a Rohirrim reference that men are master of horses. Clearly, so he does associate them, men that is, with horses, and they've been associated with for a long time. Yeah. No, Ethelad, he was not born necessarily at all after men awoke in the Middle-earth. I don't... Yeah, exactly. It puts a date on when that list was created. Exactly. This might even be, like, the super updated list. You know, the one that was updated, like, right after the Second Comers awoke, which was, like, the day before yesterday in Treebeard's time. Why should they be called master of horses? We're not given, outside the Rohirrim, we're not really given any strong reason to believe, to link humans with horses and horse domestication. But it does kind of stand to reason. Well, I don't know. It is interesting, Phil. Sorry, Phil was relating it. JJ, it is interesting, and I'm not sure I can fully explain it. Because I was just about to say, you know, how much evidence do we have of elves domesticating horses, except the answer is quite a bit, actually. Thinking of Celegorum and Orome and the Mearis, right? I mean, the Mearis come from Valinor. They're horses of Valinor. But then again, I don't know. No, the elves clearly had horses. And I'm trying to think of any reason in any of the earlier legends that suggests that the domestication of horses was especially a human thing, that elves tended not to ride horses and men did. And no, I can't think there. JJ, that was my next question, was if the relationship between non-humans and horses was something other than mastery, that whether it was the master, not the horses, exactly, that he was emphasizing. I really can't think that there would be. There's another possibility here. The other possibility here is that Treebeard is, in fact, has altered things. Because here's the thing, JJ, that you just kind of can't escape, right? Master of Horses is kind of a translation of the word Rohirrim, right? I mean, it's more than just a coincidental, link to his immediate surroundings. The kingdom of men that is nearest to him, are the horse lords, right? The masters of horses. Again, that could easily be seen as a literal translation of the word Rohirrim. And that seems like a strong coincidence to attempt to overlook. I mean, we could think... I was thinking about that, Matt, about the style of riding and what JJ was just pointing out about, Legolas regarding Arodis's friend and things like that. Any of that could work, but any of that seems like a really, really indirect way right? Very indirect way to understand his words, whereas again, the most obvious kind of paraphrase of Treebeard's line there is, men the mortal, like the ones over there, right? Masters of horses. It just does not. It seems strange. Like in most other contexts, I would say there's an obvious explanation immediately to hand, right? Why even should we dig for a deeper explanation than that? So the other thing that we don't know is what is the form of these verses that he's learned, right? Of these, the lists. On the one hand, it sounds like he is recalling things memorized verbatim, right? How did it go? How did it go? He says. And so that would suggest that what he's doing is reciting something learned by rote and presumably a long time ago. He suggests it was a long time ago. But what if there's more to it than that? And what if there is a structure to it that we don't necessarily see in his translation of it to common, right? What if he's adapted it freely to his local situations, right? I agree, he does have to be translated from Entish into human, or perhaps from Elvish into human. Exactly. And yes, JJ, we do know that the Ent name for things grows over time. So is he giving... If it were a translation from Entish, I like this idea. If he's giving a translation from Entish, JJ, what could be happening is that near the end of the name of mortal men would be master, like in the Masters of Horses, like those around, these humans that we've seen most recently, like they just arrived here in the last 15 minutes, that is to say 500 years ago, they're now Master of Horses, right? So if something which is essentially Rohirrim is the very end of the name of mortal men, right? Maybe that's how he's giving the list. Maybe he's giving the list as he's not, of course, obviously giving the exhaustive name of each of the creatures on it, right? Because that would be a long list indeed. But that's not what he's doing. Yeah, that could work. Exactly. So the idea is that the name of men has grown to accommodate the Rohirrim, and he's not giving the entire thing because he can't do that, right? So instead, he just cuts to the end, which includes the Rohirrim. I like that explanation. Boy, these orcs look like they're working the fields. Keep up the good work, guys. Look at these unspoiled crops with what look for the world like faithful orc field hands. Anyway. Yeah. I like it. Let's go with that. Who's Cramp? Volatile Goblin Riders. Oh boy, that sounds like they have... Oop, there he is. Let's see. Nope, back up. They'll probably shoot me, right? Will they shoot me? I bet you they will. Goblins. Can't be trusted. Cramp. Okay. Yeah, hang on a second. Uh-oh, there's another Croft Guard captain. I'm just gonna decline that. Yeah, what's up, dude? Things alright here? Under attack? Thought you might be. Alright, here to help some more. Defend the silo. That's a windmill, by the way. That's not actually a silo. But I don't want to be picky or anything. Just saying. Okay. Okay. I have to say that quests like this, I mean, I understand that it's a, mechanic that's kind of hard to get around, but it's kind of unsatisfying, right? Where, like, no matter what you do, you can't possibly, there's going to be a continuous flood of orcs and a never-ending battle here at the silo, and you don't feel like you've accomplished anything, right? It's just like, well, okay, Croft Guard Captain, I've left things the way I found them. Nothing else I could do. Including leave combat mode, apparently. Alright, I guess maybe if I kill this whole wave, do I get out of combat mode? Is that possible? No, because they just keep coming one by one. I'm just gonna have to go away. All right. You think it's just a decorative windmill? The spinny bit could just be decorative? Yeah. You never know. Windmills are pretty complicated technology. I mean, I learned this in when I was in the Netherlands. Did a tour of a real Dutch windmill, and it's a complicated, very complicated piece of technology. Okay. Oh, is that cramp coming back? Let's see. Okay. Who else is over there? What do we have here? Against the grain. Sorry, I didn't even notice that. Oh, look, it's Astrid. He's fighting the warband, apparently. Let's see. I guess I can mount up. It is cramp. But don't worry, I'm wearing my hat. Hey, there's somebody killed an orc. I'm not going to say anything, but... Oh, wait a second. I think I know what this is. I'm looking for Astrid. I should probably follow the trail of bodies? Is that what you're suggesting? Alright, brutally slain and dismembered. Perhaps I have found Astrid's trail. Oh, hang on. Now I got to go the other way. I see. Alright. Agreed. Looks like I'm on the right track. 2 blades thrust through its skull. Okay. Are the corpses getting warmer? Its legs slashed, this orcs looked to have attempted to flee before being run down. Okay, I've got a slain orc and also blackberries. Yuck. Black blood still pours from the neck. Oh, okay. We're getting close indeed. There we go. Caked in black blood standing in the distance. Hi! It's Dagrad's grave, huh? Hey, I found all the ruins, tombs, and monuments.
We keep safe these lands. For how long?
Yes, I can see that you're busy. Reminds me of the Holy Grail. You're a busy man. Okay, Fostred pulls his blade from the corpse of an orc at his feet. So, Gissel has failed to hold Garsfeld, and the forces in the north intend to wipe us out. They will try, but they cannot succeed. I will fight to see every last bit of orc filth on these fields purged. It is only by your good fortune that I have had my fill of orc bloodshed for today. So yes, I will return to Snow. I was going home anyway. Okay.
I do not understand why we delay here.
I am not certain that you saw it before you traveled out this way, but I have amassed a rather sizable collection of orc heads outside Snowborn. I didn't see it, actually. I was looking at the walls. If you would be so kind as to provide more for my collection, I am certain I can find space enough for them. Now then, I will take my leave. Behead orcs. All right? I don't want to fight Cramp. I just wanted to see how young he looks. Fairly young, but not that young, actually. Not as young as I thought he was. All right. Let's see. Yeah, Zach, that's just what I was thinking about the blackberries. Like, I would not eat blackberries from a bush right next to, like, where an orc was still bleeding arterially. Ooh! Look at this! An explicitly Gondorian, on account of the trees. Little, what? Little hall? Little temple? Little guy lost in the bushes. There we go. Yeah. I mean, this thing could be... This reminds me of Evendim. It's Fastred's father's tomb? This is Fastred's father's tomb? I mean, I know we're at Dogrid's grave, but isn't his grave... He's in there? So they used this old Gondorian ruin as a mausoleum? Makes sense. Are these Rohirric tombstones? Or are these Gondorian tombstones? Let's see. Got little horny bits at the top. Eagle heads. I don't think they're horse heads. They're pretty worn down. I gotta think these are Gondorian tombstones. I don't think any of the Rohirric stuff is this beat up. I mean, 500 years? A mere nothing, says the American. Yeah. Nope. Nope. Okay. The tombstones suggest this might have been a tomb originally. So they've taken over, they meaning the Rohirrim, have taken, and they've made this into the tomb of the Reeves, right? Which makes sense, right? I mean, not everybody's got an old Gondorian tomb, or an old Gondorian mausoleum for their tomb. Okay, alright, so I'm supposed to... I'm gonna do this my way, though, Fostred. Ooh, who's this guy? Warmaster Bugud. Warmaster Bugud. So, what's he about? Yeah, you're right. The cemeteries in Boston are pretty worn down, and they're only like 300 years old. It's true. It's true. But I don't remember seeing anything look like that anywhere in Rohan here. Look at all these quest actions. Quenching a thirst. Okay. It's supposed to defeat orcs and behead them? Both defeat and also behead. Yeah, yes, I am. Okay. hopefully I can double dip on those quests. Alright. Speaking of double dipping, whoa, alright then. Where is... Alright, I gotta go south towards Wallstow to fulfill Amir's quest. Alright. Hang on, let me try to keep this straight here. Sutcroft's quests. Okay, just those. Oh wait, yeah, the wood piles. Where are the wood piles? Bracing for battle. Oh, just south of town. Alright, fine. Okay. Yeah, Edith, I'm definitely looking to triple dip those ones. I want to see if they count, because I think they probably will. All right. Don't worry, I'll stay away from Bugud. I suspect he might have archers with him. I don't hold with orc archers. Alright. Approaching Wallstow, which I'll do later when I get my vector quest there. Okay, there's a camp. Oh, oops. I lagged at the wrong second. I was about to try to make a jump. But then I lagged. Just plowed straight into the water. Okay. Alright. Oops. Forgot to put my hat back on. That's embarrassing. Not wearing your hat of invisibility, right? It's just like when Bilbo comes around the corner in The Hobbit, right? And the ring's not on and all the goblins see him. It's exactly like that, except with my without my disguise hat. Alright. So who am I looking for Aemir? I'm looking for Mordor Corruptors and Warg Riders. Alright, there's a Corruptor. And there's a Warg Rider. And yes, I can, Edith. Look at that. I can triple dip these guys. Alright. Before I start this smorgasbord of mounted combat, let me get another. Let's see. Bill stickers. Let's see. When Gandalf takes King Theoden out of Meduseld, he tells him a secret. What could it be? It's not Frodo in the ring, because a few pages later he says in the east lies a secret hope he could not speak about. There are a couple possibilities there, Bill Stickers. I have always assumed that he is telling him in some way or other about Frodo in the ring. There are a couple possibilities here. One is that when he says, which I can't speak, he means openly, right? Like, we can't talk about this in public. Another possibility is that his words of hope were more like vague because confidential, right? That he's... Why is Gryfflet? Why are you... There we go. Can you please actually hit the guy? What is going on here? I was like right there and I was hitting him and then he just fled back right past me. Okay. Now skills seem to be more or less deployed. It just did it again. Like he stops acknowledging my presence. I'm not wearing my hat. You should be able to see me. Why is this guy impervious? I literally don't ever remember that happening before. There he did it again. And I'm not in mounted combat mode anymore. Alright, I'm leaving the strangely impervious Mordor Corruptor to one side, I think. I have no idea why I can't perform mounted skills there. Why is that guy even there if I can't fight him? Because of the walled camp? What, outside the walls, though? And he's right there, like the enemy. Like, what am I meant to do? I can't. That's weird. I've never... He dismounted himself! Look, it's a warg rider without his warg because he went into the lake. I've never seen that. Oh, all kinds of firsts here today. I have never seen a mounted enemy get dismounted by water before. And of course I get dismounted. I want to get away from the lake too. This is a terrible place to be doing mounted combat. I'm disliking this. Oh, and now there's a stone wall too. Would you get away from the beach? No. Yeah, go out a little bit further into the lake, would you? There you did. I shall dismount like Amir and fight you on foot in the water. Here we go. An epic battle. That was the best piece of mounted combat ever. Oh, man. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, how many more of these guys do I have to get? Can I get some better terrain here at all? Okay, no, I do have quite a bit of terrain. Let me go away from the water. There we go. Is it just me, or do my mounted combat skills seem to be doing very little against these guys? Okay. That's right. If Boromir and Faramir can swim in full armor, then Gryfflet can too. I totally agree. Let's see. All right, I'm making progress in my orc beheading. Yeah, so I was thinking too there that I do need to update my bridle LI. I keep not finding the right kind of bridle. There we go. Uh-oh. This is the wrong guy. This is a defiler. Oh man, you are a waste of my time. You don't even have any fire pots. There's a warg rider. Oh man, the warg rider without his warg. That was hilarious. So yeah, I need to do that. I haven't, I keep not getting... I keep waiting for a drop, you know? Oh, seriously? That's rude. Get back here. I should arguably pay attention to that. Hang on. Yeah, come over here. Go over here and say that. Ha ha! Oh yeah, that was satisfying. Yeah, Lumpy Clump, this makes me so... there's no way, like literally no way I could watch this stream right now. Like, all kinds of sympathy. I could never watch it. Like, me going around in circles like that, I would be in a bad, bad way pretty fast. It is not so bad to do it. Though I have to tell you, if I put targeting on, so that I'm not the one turning the screen and the screen is just turning for me, right, to keep pace with the enemy, I have to go lie down in like 2 minutes. It's so motion sick. Okay, what do we got? All right, there's one more Warg Rider I need. Oh, look, it's a Corruptor. Yeah, Taylor can craft me one. I have a Taylor who can probably handle it. I just haven't gotten around to that. I haven't done any crafting in quite some time. Oh, look, another Corruptor. Oh, good, because I still need 2 more of those. How convenient. You can trip people while swimming? Oh, that sounds really fun. Okay. The good news is my triple dipping is definitely going to work out. I still need 2 of these guys, and I only need to behead 1 more, so... I need 1 of each still. Alright, there's my last Warg Rider. Oh, you can trip yourself! Oh, look, and there's the Corruptor, too. They're both congregating for me. That is so thoughtful. Alright. Oh, sorry, I'm targeting the wrong guy. Get over here. Yeah, you. What is this? The steeplechase? Come on. Enough with the fences. He's taking evasive action. There we go. Alright, and now you. Hang on. Let me protect poor Carry-On here. Alright. Yeah, but see, now I want to see if I can use the trip skill on people while we're swimming. Next time I'm fighting on foot next to a body of water, I will try to... There we go. Got them all? No! Oh, he didn't drop a spear! Oh, how frustrating. Okay. So which one do I need then? I still need a Corruptor, huh? Oh good, there is one. Alright, and... boom! Yes! Okay. Can put my hat back on. All right. What do I need? All right, I finished all those things. I just need the logs. And I'm home. Oh, no, wait. And I got one more silo, too. Okay. going the right way. Okay, seen any silos under... Oh, I see a silo slash windmill. We are doing great for time, Phil. Still got 10 minutes-ish. Hi, is it? Oh. Did you guys polish him off here? Whoa, good. Gryfflet. Seriously. Well, carry on his wayward son. Stop. Oh. Yeah, more attack? Where? Oh, there they are. I was gonna say, things look pretty quiet to me, dude. Hey, this is an actual silo. That's my problem. I was looking at your windmill. Come defend the one farm in the Sutcrofts where they can tell the difference between a silo and a windmill. Okay. Do you think they mean the whole collection of buildings by silo? Well, that would be even more peculiar than calling a windmill a silo. All right. And are there any more? Have I done all the... Yeah. All right. I've protected all of the silos and some of the windmills. All right. And I just have to find that pile of logs and head back into town, and then I think we'll be good for today. But I will have completed this first round of quests out here around the Sutcrofts. So I think that if I'm right about those tombstones, and they were Gondorian tombstones, still thinking about Fostred's dad's tomb there. If I'm right about that, come on, Gryfflet, can you make this jump? Yes, you can. Oh, look at that. That was excellently done, sir. If I'm right that those were Gondorian tombstones, then it means that the Gondorians themselves built that as a little mausoleum some way away from their city. And it's just interesting because, oh, unattended wood, time for a little bit more borrowing from horseback. Because it doesn't seem to, or maybe it was. I mean, maybe this is evidence that it was, in fact, a fairly large Gondorian settlement. Rather than just, or it could be an ancient family who had the, so this was like the summer home, you know, of, you know, a Gondorian family, but this was like, you know, became their ancestral lands, essentially. So such that they built a family tomb out here at some sort of respectful distance there across the river from the main settlement. Oh, and there's a convenient hole in the wall right here for me to walk right through. How excellent. Okay. I think everything I need is up by the mead-hall. Fine. Okay. All right. Excellent. Okay. Let's see, what do we have here? We have Cunilak.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
He's more than willing to part with a bounty for your services in the field. Where are the orc heads? What are all these orc heads I keep hearing about? I don't see them. Are they around here? Edgar, what do you think, huh?
What brings you to these lands?
Hey, Guana could help Snowborn stand strong. All right, Amir, what do you think? What do you think of these fire pots, huh?
This will show Reeve Astrid what his people may face.
Ignorance about orcs.
Well, I speak with the Reeve.
Is one of the last things I'm going to accuse him of.
People.
Okay. Astrid is young and hot-headed and thinks death in battle is the most noble of ends. Well, Amir, between you and me, let's just say I think that's a good thing. I'm glad he does, honestly, all things considered. Certainly I cannot gainsay the value of death and glory, but not for his people. Most of the people who live in Snowburn are not warriors. While I speak with the Reeve, I would have you spar with some of the people here. Why? You want me to... Are you suggesting you want me to die in battle? You're hoping I'm going to achieve glory here, Amir? Villagers, militia, and veterans alike. Horn told me you helped train Elfmar's men, and if Astrid is truly willing to endanger the lives of his people in this way, I want them to have some basic training. Okay. No, absolutely. I'm happy to help. All right. I'll do some training with folks. I think I gotta go inside. Oh, wait. Who's around... Oh, it's my sparring partner here. Hey there, villager. Show me what you got.
I will do my best.
Yeah, you look like a pro. Oh, no, you're missing me by about 3 feet. Yeah, no, I'm down here. Yeah, that was a little better. Nope, missed me. I know I'm over here. No, that's way high, dude. Dude, I'm short. Yeah, no, you gotta bend the knees. Bend the knees. Yeah. Like this. And this. And I kind of hope Gryfflet would kind of take matters into his own hands a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I think you were improving. I think that was a good lesson. Yeah, Zach, it's almost like he's not used to beating up little people, right? He still has more morale than Gryfflet. Well, it's good. I'm glad the morale is high among the villagers. For more than one reason. There's my friend, the shield-maiden. Hey there, still looking implacable. Ready for action. Hey, Leif Helm. I love my helm too, but what do you...
Will you aid the horse lords?
Are there more shield-maidens around? Just asking for cultural reasons. Okay, hey, yeah, I stole your stuff, man. Did you find a fence or what? Okay, Astrid. What did you think of my beheading skills?
Will you aid the horse lords?
I am well aware of the problems facing this city as well as the rest of the Sudcrofts. Our enemies have grown in number, and I have heard grim news from the wold. Nevertheless, Snowborn remains strong, and should it fall to me, I will ensure the survival of the Eastham Net myself. So you're going to take on the enemy single-handed. Okay. Fear is weakness, traveler. Neither Amir nor the king will sway me. I will not abandon my lands until every last orc lies slain at my feet. It's not that I can't respect that attitude. One of my men informed me that you rescued a man by the name of Sigurd from one of the northern crofts. Very true. It is most interesting that he should be spared by orcs of all things. Oh, now you suspect him? I've heard that he was spotted near the north gate. Oh no, is he a plant? Uh-oh. Hey! Another one! Oh, they're just, you know, I didn't know Sudcrofts was like a bastion of feminism, and Now I'm like inspecting any girls in here? Yes! There is one! There's another one! 2 of them! They're all over the place. Thumping their tankards and dancing. Alright. Look at this. Shield-maidens abound in the Sutcrofts. Now I'm like checking each one for... There's another one! Okay. Well, alright then. We have our answer. In the Sutcrofts, it's totally normal. Is this a reflection on Foster? Is this meant to be unusual? This is not me just noticing this for the first time, is it? I mean, that hasn't been true in every mead-hall, and I was just too dense to notice. Oh, he's only blind to my arrival because I'm so stealthy. You look... Would be less blind to me if I stand right in front of him. You look, unwell. Did you eat something that didn't agree with you there? You know, slouching like that on a stone wall gets real uncomfortable real fast, Sigurd. I'm just saying, for the sake of your, like, spinal alignment and everything, you're going to want to shift here. Hi.
What brings you to these lands?
Okay, I cannot thank you enough for saving me from that grisly fate. I know not why I was the only one to survive. It pains me greatly to think of it. So much of that day does not make sense to me. There were many queer happenings. Yeah, tell me more about the queer happenings.
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
The morning my croft was attacked was a very strange one indeed. We had heard the troubles surrounding Garsfeld, but for our own part, we faced very little danger from our enemies in the Sutcrofts. They seemed to have little interest in attacking us, though I do not know why. Also, while it was not completely unheard of, 3 of our best riders, and also 3 of my closest friends, left the croft that morning to go fishing at what they thought to be a lucky fishing hole. Oh man. While they were gone, the attack fell, and all were slain save for me. Even as I stood bound to that pole, they did not return. I know not where they are now, and if you would find them for me, I would be very grateful. I would begin your search at the fishing docks to the southeast. If they are not there, I know not where else they could be, so they're still fishing is your only hope. Oh, and I've got to defeat spearfishers as well. Oh man, you're all full of quests.
Will you aid the Rohirrim?
The Orcs may have been lurking near the fishing docks. If my friends encountered them, I am certain they would have defeated them nevertheless. If the Orcs remain, they may have fish on them. Okay, so win-win situation, I guess. While you were investigating the docks, would you also be so kind as to gather fish? Sure. Sure, man. No problem. Bring them to Gisling. Okay. Well, anyone who's advocating the finding of fish for his fellow refugees can't be all bad. All right. I should stop here. I'm still kind of collecting quests, but for my second round of quests here in town. Where are the docks? Oh, down there. All right. Yeah, further than I went. All right. Yeah, exactly, JJ. As long as no one's monging the fish, right, I'm fine. I'm going to give it away and not sell it. All right. Very good. Well, I should run. My time is up here today. Thanks, everybody, for joining me this week. Gryfflet should be back next week for... yeah, I know it's mongering. Yeah, it's just funnier if it's monging. But anyway, yeah, there we are. Very good. Thanks, everybody. I will see you guys next week. Bye now. Thanks for joining in on my rambles around Standing Stone's brilliant digital adaptation of Tolkien's world. If you enjoy these adventures, please consider supporting this and other entertaining educational programming by donating at signumuniversity.org/fund.